So let's investigate the security concerns surrounding Facebook and other social networking sites. Deanna Zandt is a media technologist and the author of Share This, How You Will Change the World with Social Networking. She joins me live from New York. First of all, in fairness to Facebook, you can meet somebody online on any kind of website. But let me ask you, first of all, about the privacy issues. When people log on to Facebook and put their photographs and information up there and news of their day, etc., does Facebook own that, or do the people who put it up own the content?
It's up for debate right now. Facebook has been changing their terms of service over the past several years to increasingly become more and more, and have more ownership over at least some of the data that we are putting up online.
Is it possible to delete one's account if you decide that, for example, you're not particularly happy with on Facebook for whatever reason, you don't want to stay on Facebook?
There's actually two things that users can do. One of them is called a deactivation, where your account is not actually fully deleted from Facebook. And people still can try to contact you through Facebook, still tag you in photos on Facebook. And then there is an account deletion process that you can request to be deleted from Facebook, but that can take up to 14 days for Facebook to actually get around to deleting your data.
Let me ask you about the privacy issues again, if we can go back to that, because I found a website today, or I was alerted to a website called OpenBook, which essentially, if you type in a couple of words like new car, any conversation that's taken place on Facebook will be brought up on that page, which does raise very seriously the privacy issue.
Well, what happens with OpenBook is that it searches status updates and messages that have been made public. And the problem is that Facebook has changed the way they manage their privacy settings at different points, in that users don't necessarily know that their privacy settings are no longer the same as what they once were, and that their status messages are now made public. And that, to me, is where the real concern lies, because I think there is a lot of value in having very public conversations and making those conversations searchable, especially when we're talking politics, when we're talking culture, and all those things.
A lot has been associated with the founder of Facebook, and it would appear, if one was to go online and read newspaper accounts, or indeed buy newspapers, that social media is still, to a certain degree, the Wild West of America. But the question is, really, is the Facebook phenomenon over, and will it be replaced by something else?
I don't think the phenomenon is necessarily over, and certainly what we're seeing with the popularity of Facebook is, to me, indicative of a larger cultural phenomenon where people have a real human primal need to connect with one another. And what I think we'll see in the future is not necessarily being Facebook going away and being replaced by something else. I think that we'll see social networking becoming much more integrated into our operating systems, much like email is now, and hopefully it can operate in a similar way with open standards as email does. And we'll see it becoming much more integrated in the devices that we already own.
All right, but just to be aware of those privacy settings.
Yes.
Deanna Zandt, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.